Vinyl community, I'm here to sum up my collecting year of 2020. Now, 2020 has been chaos for everyone on the planet Earth. Strange times indeed. Like last year, I've been focusing a lot on lesser records and maybe more expensive records and obscure records. And I've continuing to thin down my collection during 2020. I've sold maybe 300 records this year, thinning it out piece by piece. A lot of records that I found back in the day, maybe 20 years ago or 15 years ago now, and 10 years ago, I bought for next to nothing. What I've done is I've traded a lot with fellow Swedish collectors. I've traded in stores and I've sold online to get money to pay for more expensive records. So that has been the focus this year. It's hard work, but it's fun and it's worth it when you sell off like 30 records that you know you won't listen to, and you can buy 2 records that is just mind-blowing and will stay in the collection forever. Now, my top 10. I'm gonna show you my top 10 rock records. And rock I mean Psych and Prog, really, because I don't think there's any standard rock records in there. My top 10 is definitely Psych and maybe Prog. But I noticed that when I did my top 10, there were no jazz records, and I'm a huge jazz fan also, if you know that, if you follow my channel and watch my videos. So I wanted to get in some jazz in it too. So I decided to do a top 10 jazz finds. So this is going to be a long video, but top videos, if you may, is often very appreciated. So I guess that you just skip ahead if you don't like jazz, and you can go to the prog and psych stuff. I decided to do this in order of how it tickles in my tummy when I see it. I'm thinking like top 10, so 10, 9, 8, 7. And I'm not going to talk in depth about them. I think I've done that past year in my finds video, so just go back and check that. Okay, so at number 10. At number 10 is Ornette Coleman's The Shape of Jazz to Come from 1959. This is a minty copy of a 70s press. But I'm showing this because I had a reissue of this, like 2012 reissue or something like that. It played good and well and everything, but being such an iconic record, I really wanted an earlier press or an early press of this. So when I saw this for a great price and in this condition, I couldn't pass it up. So I sold my reissue, and now this is in the collection, and music-wise you can't complain really. So at number 10, Ornette Coleman. Okay, so at number 9 is a FMP record from 1971. This is Peter Brötzmann, Van Hove, Han Benning, and plus Albert Mangeldorf. This is a early, but it's number 40 of the FMP series, and artwork is done by Brötzmann. A free jazz record at its most German, I guess. But the funny thing is, I found this for a steal, and I never see FMP records, so this was such a nice surprise. Great music, great pressing, great record. And at number 8, when we're at it, this is Eine halbe Hund kann nicht pinkeln, FMP number 420. So you have Brötzmann and Benning, duo record from 1977. This is a dead first press on FMP Records. I had the reissue of this and saw this online for a great price, and I did a package deal, and the deal was done, sold my reissue, and here we are. Okay, so coming in at number 7 is an ECM record that I got this year. It's been on my want list forever, it seems. And I found it in a store in Gothenburg for a great price, so I couldn't let it be. This is Bengt Berge's Bitter Funeral Beer with Don Cherry and Thomas Mera Gartz and Bosse Skoglund. So a killer lineup here. And it's not typical ECM work. This is definitely a sort of world fusion record with that sort of Don Cherry sound to it. It's not as mellow as you used to of the ECM records. Highly recommended. Fantastic. Maybe the best ECM record that I've heard. And at number 6, really glad to have this in my collection now. It's been forever on my want list. This is Albert Eiler. I file it under Albert Eiler at least. Eye and Ear with Don Cherry, John Shikai, Roswell Rudd, Gary Peacock and Sonny Murray. You can't complain on that lineup, can you? From 1964. This is a Japanese press from 78. I mean, these sort of ESP discs, I never see them, and when I see them, they are priced so high. So getting this like Japanese press, which is a little bit less than the original pressings, and just made me be able to get it, and I'm so glad I did. Okay, so coming up at number 5, this is the cream of the crap, and I hope you agree with me. This is, as I said, number 5, Brötzvan, Han Benink, and Van Hove. FMP 130 is the title of the record, or at least this is what people are calling it, from 1973. I was so glad to find this, because this and Machine Gun and Balls, maybe, and Nipples are up there on my want list, like the biggest wants of the free jazz records that I want to add to my collection, and this was one of them. So I was glad that I found them. So all of these FMP pressings I bundle up and made a deal with a buyer online to get. Super happy to be able to add it to the collection. Number 4, what can it be? Yes, it's Coltrane. Ascension. This is the French first press on Impulse Records, 1975. Once again, sound like a broken record, but I'm super glad to add this. And what a lineup! Shit, what a lineup! You have Edwin Jones, Freddie Hubbard, Marion Brown, McCoy Tyner, Dewey Johnson, Archie Shepp, Pharoah Sanders, Art Davis. I mean, John Shikai. It's insane. And now I have a cat behind me. Hello. So yeah, John Coltrane, Ascension 1975. Okay, so coming in at number 3, we have Stanley Cowell. Unfortunately, he passed away just recently. Yeah, fantastic piano player. This is solo piano, or Musa, Ancestral Streams. So yeah, on Strada East. Solo piano, as I said, this is the best piano record I have ever heard in my life. Now, I had the original press of this. A guy wanted to trade it for a fantastic Psych record. I couldn't pass it up, so I had to send it away. But the second I sent it away, I missed it. So a couple of weeks afterwards, I found the second press online. So I just bought that so I could add it to the collection again. So you can find this pretty easy, the second press, and it's not super expensive. But man, the music makes it number 3. Coming in at number 2, this is such a great free jazz record, which has taken some time to get into, but it's well worth the investment. He's such a magician, or maybe like a mad scientist. I don't know, but John Zorn, ladies and gentlemen, with Cobra in 1987 or 86. Recorded 86. This is, I mean, it's so interesting and it's so experimental. And Hat Hut Records with this sort of packaging and the thick cardboard, almost like a package, is terrific. And what he's doing with the music it's so free. It's the equivalent of free spirited music. Number 2 this year, jazz-wise, Cobra. Fuck yeah. And coming in at number 1, and I've showed this in my recent Vinyl Finds video, I had to pick them both because I couldn't decide. So both of them is on the top bill. Mingus Aum, original US press, 6th Eye from 1951 mono. Sounds great. I mean, insane. And I haven't really let the needle off the record since I got it. And from the same guy, I traded this also, Art Blakey and Jazz Messengers. The Big Beat, first mono press on Blue Note with the 47 West and 63rd. Deep groove. and with the ear in the dead wax. It's just so cool to have it in the collection. And both of them have seen better days, but being from 1959 and 1960, it's insane that they managed to be in such good condition as they are. So yeah, that's my top 10 jazz finds this year. Coming up, Psych records, rock records and prog records. Here we are, top 10 of the finds this year. And I have to say, it's been so hard to pick these 10 because I had a great year finding records online and trading with different collectors and stuff like that. I mean, I'm cheating a little bit because I have Can in the background. This is the second German press that I found, which is, I'm so glad that I have an original early 1973 copy of the 71 record. This was the year where I found Neu, Guru Guru, Purple Vu, original pressings of those. A great year for me collecting wise. So it was hard picking these, but as I think I said before, I'm going with my gut here. It's quality of music, quality of value and or collecting wise, and how long it's been on my want list, and also emotionally, as we're gonna see. So yeah, here it is at number 10, 1966. Okay, so this is Yardbirds with Roger the Engineer on the blue Columbia label, stereo, first UK press of this in fantastic condition. So I stumbled upon this really and bought it or made a trade. Can't really remember. I think I made some bundle thing and got it for a steal. Super happy with that classic, iconic UK Psych record. Coming in at number 9 is this one, and I was a little bit on the fence with this, to be honest, because I think the music is a little bit overrated. I've already had this like 2 years ago maybe, and I actually traded it for the Ashra Temple record with a German fella. This is Tussilago Fanfara with Anna själv tredje, or Anna själv tredje with Tussilago Fanfara. Ambient sort of Tangerine Dream Swedish record on Silence, on the Silence label from 1977, I think. It's a little bit more moody in my opinion than anything Tangerine Dream did, because of the sort of dark woods in Sweden, and it looks like a death metal cover, doesn't it? It's a wonderful cover, but in my opinion a little bit over. It's a cool record, it's a good record, but it's a little bit overrated. But hey, it made number 9. At number 8, Grodek Whipperjenny from 1971, I think, on People's Records, I don't know. First press of this, it was in the shrink wrap when I got it from a collecting friend here in Sweden. Man, oh man, what a special funk psych record this is. Hell of a ride. So glad to add this to the collection. And number 7. No, number 8. Here's number 7. I showed this in my last or recent Vinyl Finds video, but how can I exclude it? So at number 7, Axis Bola's Love by Jimi Hendrix Experience. 1967 on Track Records. First UK press in perfect condition. It still cracks when you open the gatefold. It's insane. And I found it in a store here in south of Sweden, and traded it with a bunch of records. Glad I did. Classic, iconic record. Never thought I would have this as a first press actually. And my favorite Hendrix record. So at number 6 is Gila, I don't know, Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee. This is a fantastic krautrock record, one that I've been looking for so long, and the hunt was finally over this year. So 2020 was the year I could add this to the old collection. So first German press of this great masterpiece of a record, really. If you haven't heard, check it out. Top 5. Okay, so top 5. What's the number 5? Well, I actually put Cauldron by 50 Foot Hose on number 5. This is a freaky psych record. Freaky psych record that I was able to hunt down 2020 on Limelight Records. If you haven't heard it, I mean, buckle up and just let it rip your mind in pieces. Experimental as shit. This is a fantastic Psych record. And when you play it, when you read about it, when you get it and hit the needle, I mean, this is everything. To me, this is everything that collecting records stands for. It's obscure, it's mind-blowing, and it smells good, like cigarette smoke and mold from 1972. Number 5. Okay, so number 4. I was really on the fence about this because music-wise, I don't think it's a masterpiece. There's better records this year, but as a piece, like a collecting piece, and music history-wise, this has to be on the list. And when I went through them, it happened to be on number 4, and it's Handgjort. So, okay, this is a Swedish prog record on Silence Records, 1970. So pretty early Silence. And Handgjort, if you translate Handgjort, it's handmade. So every single sleeve is handmade and totally unique. They glued on these sort of artworks on every single sleeve. Sometimes they painted on the entire sleeve, and sometimes they painted and glued it on. And I was also on the fence about this because it's not in the best shape. But then again, the vinyl is in fantastic condition. I've been looking for this since I started collecting records, really. Collecting prog records as a serious hobby, but it's always been too pricey, and I know there's better copies of Handgjort, cooler copies of Handgjort, but just to own it is, I mean, if you take Swedish prog records, this is maybe top 10 of the most iconic, at least, not music-wise maybe, but iconic prog records because of the uniqueness and the collectiveness when they did the music and stuff like that. So yeah, at number 4. Coming up at number 3, man, shit. But yeah, if you ask me tomorrow, the order of these might be a little bit different, but yeah, I showed this in my last video also. Number 3, Arthur with Dreams and Images on Lee Hazelwood's label LHI. Yeah, so I discovered this record really this year when reading about American records, obscure records in Acid Archive. I noticed it before. I've seen it in the sort of vinyl universe, but I didn't really listen to it. Now I did, and it blew me away. Like, the music is so good, and it's so delicate, and like the loner folk acid Psych is just so vibrant on this record. So what I did was I started to vacuum the sort of Swedish vinyl community online to see if anyone had a copy for sale. And actually one of the persons I respect the most in the Swedish vinyl community said that he could sell his copy. So not only is it in perfect condition, but it's also a mono promo press of it. Yeah, I'm super glad to add this to the collection. This is everything that collecting vinyl records is for me. Finding out about new musics, obscure music, things that tinkle in my tummy when I see it and listening to it and feeling it, holding it in my hands. And then you have promo, you have mono, and you have rare, you have valuable. It's all in one record. Number 2, this is fantastic record, valuable as hell, or valuable, but it's an expensive record and hard to find. This is Agitation Free with Malesh, original first German press on the Vertigo Swirl label. And if you're a collector of Vertigo Swirls, you know that this is not the one you see every day, even if you collect swirls. So I was glad to be able to trade this with a Swedish collector. So yeah, Agitation Free, first Swirly Swirl, Swirly Swirl UK, German press. Okay, so number 1. This is number one. The only record of all jazz and psych records and stuff like that I knew was the one record, because I've played it to death. I played it on this turntable, so my wife knows the entire thing inside out. I played it downstairs on my second turntable, where I keep the other records. I played it in my car. I played it in my work. The entire year I've been obsessed with this record, this music, and I found a copy in almost like, mint condition is the wrong word, but as close as you can get. Yeah, and I'm super glad to add it. It's Smoke Time with the Smoke, 1967, I think. A UK band, recorded some singles, had a minor hit with my friend Jack in other European countries than UK, especially in Germany. They released this LP, the only LP by them, and the only press of this original press in Germany on Metronome Records. Yeah, not many copies were pressed even in Germany. So this is the thing you have to buy if you want it. It's pop, garage pop, Psych at its best. It's dirty. I mean, it's radio friendly. Every song is perfect. And the only thing that comes to mind, and not music-wise, but as a phenomenon, in my opinion, personally, is like Pet Sounds, Sgt. Pepper, Odysseys and Oracles. I mean, those kind of iconic records that just blows your mind, and there's not a single bad second on the entire record. In my opinion, this is it. I mean, this is not a single bad second. And actually, I had this when I was a kid. I got it from my uncle. It was beat to shit, and I had no idea what I have. I was maybe 8-10 years old. Played it, didn't like it. I sold it when I was a little bit older. Got some money for it. And now, in my older days, I noticed it again, and I mean, acquired it. Number one, in my book. Yeah. It's Smoke Time to Smoke. And I will keep playing this over and over again. I have to get another copy because I'm going to play this to death. Because it's so good. And I don't know if I'm the only one that thinks so. But it's so damn good. It's so damn good. Number one. Yeah, that's it. My top 10 jazz finds and my top 10 other finds. Of 2020. I'm gonna leave my Instagram link below. If you have Instagram, hook me up there. I usually post my rare records long before I show them in a video, because I'm posting it when I'm listening to it at first time. I also want to say to all you Swedish speaking persons out there, I have a podcast that's called Vinylsnack. So if you are interested in listening to these kind of records, please subscribe to my podcast as well. I have a segment in there called Obskyra Mästerverk, but it's in Swedish, so only interesting for Swedish watchers maybe. So yeah, have a good new year, and talk to you soon in 2021, I guess. Bye.